your show now, press 1. Since it appears you're
And we're
calling
here
back into a
now.
live show, we are
Everything
reconnecting
is
you
going to
now.
be all right. Yeah. Yeah. And everything is going to be okay. Yeah. Everything is going to work itself out. We know what this is all about. Yo, thanks for coming on out and coming on through. We about to do the show. You know we do what we have to each and every day, 365, 52 weeks. Hey, check it out, right? This is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. And this morning, on this beautiful Sunday morning, overcast, don't get me wrong, ain't no sunshine today. But the sunshine is in our hearts. It's going to be okay. We do our part. Make sure we did it from the beginning to start. To make sure we bring the positive feelings and vibes. I know that I'm going to bring that thing. We're going to make sure that we just swing. I'm the king, and y'all the queens and kings. Also things that we get into, you know, when we come through. You and me, we are a team. We talk about to put the I in team. Wait, what do we mean? Today on the Urban Therapy with Sun show, we're talking about when to put the I in team. When to put the I in team. Is there ever a time when you should put the I in team? Well, some people don't ask the question. They just do that thing without suggestion. So, you know, we all revel in being team players. You know, that's the thing to be. It's politically correct. You know, nobody, I ain't gonna say nobody, but it doesn't seem like proper etiquette to ever declare yourself as not being a team player. When you declare yourself as being the type of person that feels like you can do it all by yourself or all for yourself and you don't need nobody, people be looking at you real sideways, right? But as we take a deeper look into what teamwork is and how it works, well, there are a bunch of I's that will come together and make up a team. So when they say that there ain't no I in team, they mean that you should not be a selfish person as it relates to the team atmosphere. You should work for the betterment and for the advancement of all people involved in whatever endeavor that you are part of. And that's the a type of foundation you're supposed to stand on. Well, let's take a look at it because it sounds good. Just like a whole lot of things, it sounds good. But what happens when it's time to put the I in team? Is there ever a time you need to put I in team? Yo, I am on the team. Well, on the surface, it may not sound like it, but we're going to get a little deeper into it, and we're going to find out what's what. And I'm glad to be here on this Sunday morning, the 18th of July. We are in full summer. It's been raining a lot, but I don't know if y'all remember, but in 2018, 2019, all it did was rain the whole year. There wasn't no such thing as April showers. It was January, February, March, April, June, July. I mean, I guess I should have said May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Okay. So today we're talking about when to put the I in team. When to put the I in team. We're going to get a little deep today. I think it's time. We're going to go a little deep and see what we can find out. All right, so let's get it popping. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. We do this every single Sunday from 11 a.m. till around 12:30-ish. And the reason that we say 12:30-ish is because sometimes it gets so heated that we just have to do a little OT on a Sunday. And it is a Sunday, baby. This is the show where adults come out and play with other adults. We laugh, we cry, we argue, fuss, and fight, go back and forth with each other, bust it up all crazy. We take an introspective look into our own personality to see how the universe projects us into this thing called life in this world and try to figure out, why are we here? What are we doing? How come you're looking at me like that? Where we going? And we play in the sandbox, the monkey bars, the merry-go-round, push each other up this sliding board and on the swings. I am your host, Sun 752, aka Omar with the rrrr. And if you can't say Omar with the rrrr, but then you just say Omar with the R. It is the Urban Therapy with Sun show. And I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to see my people's coming through. Yo, Queen Matu Mayini, Queen Monica is all up in the house, and Sucre Jetois, Sucre JT Yucks. Thanks for coming on through. I know you give up. Jay Comedian, my dog. Jay Comedian. Now that is a funny boy right there. That's my dog. NY stand up all day. I remember he used to take the train down to Philly, come do his shows. You know what I mean? Go on back up there. We talking about like, I haven't seen Jay. When was the last time I seen you, man? It's gotta be at least 10 years. More than that, maybe 10, 13 years. It might be since like 2007, 2008. Whatever. That's my dog though, man. Good dude, funny as hell. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say he's underrated because every time people see him, they be cracking up and all of that thing. What he used to do? He be saying, Silver Bell, Silver Bell. What's going on, my G? Anyway, what's up? Emily Dunlap in the house. I said it. Emily. What's going on, Emily? And Carol Chamber, let me favorita. It's always good to have my eyes on you and to see your auntie Carrie right morning, noon, and night. It's always good to have my peoples going right in your sight. And Robin Ming, she's something like a queen for a king. Thanks for coming through and doing your thing now. All right. Lawrence Seiko, my brother, my mellow, my man, my yo, come and take a stand. Thanks for coming through, y'all. So we're talking about when to put the I in team. When do you put the I in team? Everybody tells you that there ain't no I in team. There ain't no I in team. You can't do it. You can't do it and get away with it. You can't do it and it be all right. Well, that's like saying that you should never put yourself first. And maybe some people believe theoretically that you should never ever put yourself first. But when it really comes down to it, you was first to try to get on the team. So, you know, although you may understand the team atmosphere, there are going to be times as the stakes rise higher and higher where you're going to have to concentrate on personal performance. Because if you don't, at some point, put your focus on your personal performance, guess what? You won't have a team to be eye on. Now tell me I'm lying. If you don't focus on your personal performance, you won't have a team to be eye on. No. So in order to be on a team that's worthy of anything, you got to be good. And you get good by personally stepping up your level of play, being better as a team player. And we can be talking about sports. We could be talking about a job. We could be talking about a club or organization or whatever. We could be talking about your family. Your family is a team. Y'all got the same last name. Y'all got the same last name, baby. So. Hold on. Yo, I'm doing my show right now. You should go over there and get on the line. All right. That's how we settle them problems right there. That's how we handle that. Anyway. So yeah, you have to be a good player in order to get picked for a team. You can try to join a team all you want, but if the team is worthy of anything, if they are a championship caliber team, or if they are the type of team that goes far deep into the playoffs or whatever, in whatever sport or whatever way that the team is set up, you're going to have to be good. Nobody wants to have somebody on a team that's just on there to say that they're on the team. You're going to have to make a good contribution. You need to be contributed in. You need to be contributing. So, in order to contribute to the team, you have to be good enough, decent enough, serviceable enough, useful enough in order to get on the team. You do that by concentrating on your personal performance. Isn't that concentrating on the eye? Now, people might say, well, all right, if you just have to be right, yeah, that's the way that's when you put the I in team. But if you keep doing it that way and all you care about is your personal performance, then you'll become a George Gervin. You'll become the Iceman. You'll become Allen Iverson. You'll become a Kobe Bryant. Hold on. Well, since I'm mentioning a couple of sports celebrities, maybe we should run through a few of them and decide amongst ourselves whether they were team players or whether they were eye players. Well, let's talk about it. I brought up Kobe Bryant. Was Kobe Bryant a team player? Won a lot of championships. Played on one team his whole career, his whole pro career, only played on one team. Well, he was drafted by one team, but he never played for that team. So, but was Kobe a team player? In the beginning of his career, he was gunning hard. The general consensus about Kobe Bryant was that he never would pass the ball. He was a ball hog. Like, I ain't passing this. I need my chance to shine. Here I am. I'm a young boy, 18 years old on the Los Angeles Lakers. I'm not passing nothing. Eddie Jones want the ball. He better get some boards. He better get a rebound. Because if I get the ball, I'm putting it up or I'm going to the hole. That's how it go. Kobe. Now, as Kobe matured, got older, and started having a team built around him. Well, did they build a team around Kobe Bryant initially? Was that even the intention? When Kobe Bryant went into the NBA, what was that, like 1996, 96, 97, something like that? Let's see. It wasn't 95. Was it? No. In 95. Wait a minute. Like 93, 94. What year was Kobe Bryant drafted into the NBA? 1996.
1996.
I got it right.
According to CBSSports.com, with the 13th pick in the 1996 NBA draft, the Charlotte Hornets selected Kobe Bryant out of Lower Merion High School in Philadelphia.
I remember.
Then, in a draft day trade that would change the course of NBA history, they dealt him to the Los Angeles Lakers in exchange for Blade Divac. This much is indisputable. How it all happened, however, is not.
Well, Kobe told them he wasn't playing for no Charlotte Hornets. He's like, y'all got to get me over to the Lakers. I'm not playing for the Hornets. Imagine if he would have played for the Hornets. He wanted to go to the Showtime team. Which lends the question, was Kobe a team player? Now, may he rest in peace and all of that, but was he a team player? What do you think? He may have started to play better as a team player as time went on, but in the beginning, especially when Shaq came over, him and Shaq couldn't get along. They never got along the whole time that they were playing with each other. 3 championships, but they couldn't play. They didn't really like each other. They didn't appreciate each other that much. Even though I think Shaq tried a little harder to be down with Kobe than Kobe tried to be down with Shaq. There was definitely friction, maybe some jealousy, some things like that going on. Yeah, Kim's whims is saying the same thing I was saying. In the beginning, he was definitely a ball hog. Now, Shaq was never a ball hog. He didn't play that way. He would take it to the hole now. He got his points. But that's not what he was trying to do. Shaq wanted to win a championship. And so he wanted to spread the ball around. Plus, he's a center. Your center ain't supposed to be scoring all crazy like that. But he had the ability to do so. Who going to stop Shaq? Yeah, the rest of the team members would stop Shaq. That's how you stop Shaq. But one-on-one wasn't going down like that. Wasn't going down like that. So, yeah. So, in the beginning, Kobe Bryant wasn't as much of a team player as he would become later on. When they wanted to win championships and they saw that it wasn't going to happen, and then they brought Phil Jackson over there, and Phil Jackson was able to make those players into better team players. So, but that's just my opinion. Can you be a ball hog and a team player at the same time? Kobe absolutely put the I in team. He definitely put his I in his team. It doesn't mean that he wasn't a team player. It just meant that he was definitely focused on his personal performance. Let me see. What's up, Rita? Rita Reds is all up in the house. Rita, what's going on, Rita? Good to see you. Shaq was a team player for sure. Okay, and he's still a team player. I don't fuck with I'm Shaq no more. He fuck with the cops a little bit too much for me. He wanted to be a cop. I'm like, I don't know about you, Shaq. Anyway, all right, Lawrence, good looking now. You said get the likes up for my man. Yeah, you get the likes up for your man. Appreciate that. And share the show and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. This is the Urban Therapy with Sun Show, Sunday, 18th of July. And we're talking about when to put the I in team. Since we're talking about it, though, let's run through some other players and let's see if they were indeed team players or if they put the I in team. The I in team. Okay, Michael Jordan, arguably the best basketball player ever, right? That discussion about whether Kobe might be the best ever. He ain't. He wasn't. I'm not trying to hear that. But that's me. I'm not trying to hear it. Maybe, there are plenty of people who believe I don't know. Kobe might have been as good as Michael Jordan. But the question is, was Michael Jordan the best ever? Plenty of people say, yes, he was. No question about it. I'm not so sure. I think Wilt might have something to say about that. I think Wilt Chamberlain might have something to say about whether Jordan or Kobe were the best ever. One thing is for sure, Wilt Chamberlain was a team player. No doubt about it. Even scoring 100 points. Because Wilt could have just stood under the basket and dunked all day. He wouldn't do it. He could shoot your lights out from anywhere. Remember, he was shooting the threes when they was only worth 2. That's Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt was shooting the 3 when it wasn't no 3. The 3 was a 2. Remember, the 3-point shot, for those of y'all who don't know, the 3-point shot came out after the ABA. The ABA invented the 3-point shot. And when you talk about the ABA, then you're talking about Dr. J. Dr. J is arguably the best player who ever came out of the ABA. Arguably. But somehow, when you talk about the top 5 greatest players, NBA players ever, somehow Dr. J name don't come up. It don't come up. I'm like, he changed the fucking game. People wasn't dunking like that, and they sure wasn't flying like that before Dr. J. It wasn't. And he was a team player. He could have been a ball hog. He had every tool to be able to do it, but he wasn't. He would spread that ball around because he knew that in order to win a championship on a basketball team, you have to get the other players involved. Yeah, you can score, you can score your 50 points and all of that, but when it comes down to it, you have to make other players better. And that's why the Sixers kept going to championship after championship after championship in the 70s, from 77 on to 82. It was either nobody else from the East Coast was going to the championship. It was only the Sixers and the Celtics. Sixers, Celtics. Especially when Celtics with that damn Larry Bird. But it wasn't no other team. It wasn't no other teams. Every year, Sixers, Celtics. Sixers couldn't win it until Moses Malone came in and regulated it. They needed a center. That used to be their biggest Achilles heel. They needed a center, and Moses provided that, and it made all the other team members better. Shout out to Earl Curitan. Yeah. Shout out to my man Mark Ivoroni. Yeah, I'll never forget that championship team. It was the greatest. Darryl Dawkins. Well, he wasn't on there at the time. Yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, Dr. J, definitely a team player. Absolutely a team player. Brown Eyes, what's going on, man? Good to see me some you. Thanks for coming on by. Thanks for coming on through. Yeah. So there are great there are great players out there, but there are great players out there who played on a team who put the I in team. They definitely put themselves first. They put their statistics first. It's not a new thing. And I tell you what, if you believe that you should never put the I in team, well, when it's time for you to do your contract negotiations, I bet you put the I in team then. It ain't going to be about what everybody else is getting paid then. This is all about you and your personal performance. It's all about you and your personal worth. I'm sorry. It could translate into wealth too, but it's definitely about your personal worth. What are you worth to this team? How much should we compensate you? How much did we pay you, man? I bet you it's time I bet you your agent tells you to put the I in team then. He ain't trying to give you the team average. He ain't trying to make you into no franchise player. No. I in team. Right now, brother. Right now, sister. That I is going to be all up in that team when it comes time for contract negotiations. So there is a time to put an I in team. There is a time to put an I in team. Emily says, "Stop the presses. Who hit the hate button? Probably a mistake. I hope so, because I'm looking for you." Well, we always have the somebody always presses the dislike button. The good part about it is it still comes up with the algorithm. So, I'm feeling it. I ain't mad at it. You can give me all the dislikes you want. It's still, the algorithm is still going to say, yo, but he here though. You know what I mean? Let's send some more people over there to dislike him. Appreciate y'all, man. Appreciate y'all. So, yeah. So somebody like I said, when you go into your contract negotiations, you're going to put the I in team. You're going to put that I in team so you can get back on the team and get back to business. Simple and plain. So there is a time to put an I in team. But let's talk about some other sports teamers that we could question whether they put the I in team. Tom Brady, arguably, I don't even know if it's arguable. He's going to go down as the greatest quarterback ever. Nobody has won that many championships, that many Super Bowls. This motherfucker went from the Patriots to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and won the Super Bowl in the first year. That's the worst thing that could have ever happened in sports for haters. And I hate Tom Brady. I do not like him. But one thing is perfectly clear. He is a team player. He is. And to put a stamp on that shit, and believe me, this is hurting me to say, because I don't like the Patriots. I don't like Tom Brady. I don't like none of that shit. But I do like the truth. And the truth is, he took some of his players from the Patriots and took them to the Buccaneers and made it work and won the championship in his first year. I will never forgive Big Red for letting that happen. And they shut him out. How do you get shut out in a damn Super Bowl? Well, they didn't get shut out, but they didn't score a touchdown. How do you not score? You disgust me. You disgust me. So yeah, I think we would probably have to agree that Tom Brady is a team player. By the way, if y'all want to call into the show, if you want to talk about any time when you have had to put the I in team, I invite you to call in, and the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. Once again, the number to call is area code 319-527-6199. That's the number to call. I said a 319-527-6199. Yes, y'all. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get on the line. I said a 319-527-6199. Yeah, get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. Get your shine, baby. That's the one time. If you call into the show, make sure you press number 1, and that will let me know that you would like to speak. And then I will call you out by the last 4 digits of your telephone number. And you can rock on and do the damn, do the damn thing. And when you call in, that's definitely a time when you can put the I in team. It's definitely a time when you can put the I in team. But yeah, so there have been plenty of sports celebrities over the years that have been great players. It doesn't mean that they never put the I in team. You may have won championships. Your stats may be through the roof. It doesn't mean that you put the I in team. You understand what I'm saying? When you are a team player, a real team player, you put the team before everything and every other accomplishment, every other accolade. And a really good example of a team player in basketball would probably be Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson revolutionized the assist game. He could shoot too, but he would pass that ball. And he knew how to pass the ball in a way that you had to practice in order to get it, because he, passing it behind his back and through his legs and all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, he would get the ball to his players before the other team members could figure out that he was going to pass. So, Magic Johnson going up for a layup, he passed. Like, I ain't getting my shit swatted. And he would pass it in a way that would set his team members up to be able to score. Magic Johnson had more assists than anybody I can think of. Absolutely a team player. He had to work on being a team player that much. Is Magic Johnson in anybody's top 5? Might not be. People like scorers. They put scorers in their top 5. That's what people like. So, but Magic Johnson was absolutely a team player. I don't think you can argue that. I don't think you can argue it. Some people may, and I'm open to it, but all-time assist leader, those points ain't yours. You made it possible for other people to get their stats. Definitely a team player. I don't think he put the I in it. Baseball is a sport where you can have a lot of individual accomplishments. Thank you. Bless you too. Bless y'all too. Yeah. So in baseball, it's not necessary. Well, in baseball, the team has to win. And I think it's set up. I think baseball is pretty much set up that in a way where you're going to have to be a team player because you got to play the field. You can't just hit the ball all day, except in the American League, hitter. The designated hitter. So, like, if you're a pitcher and you don't know how to hit the ball, you're not a very good batter. In the American League, you don't have to bat if you're a pitcher. You have a designated hitter. The DH. Not so much in the National League. That's why I like the National League better. But the American League be winning championships. But I'm just saying. But yeah. So in baseball, you may fashion yourself as putting the I in team, but you got to go out there and catch balls. You got to field. You have to put yourself in a position to be able to help your team get to the point where you can get out of that inning so you can put the I in team again and get back to the long ball, which you probably revel in, or at least getting those hits. Getting a hit. So, I see we have a caller on the line. Caller with the last number 7019. Thank you for holding. What is on your mind this afternoon?
Good morning. Oh, good afternoon.
Grand afternoon to
I
you.
was just calling. Thank you. Okay. I was calling to put the I in team, but I don't want to talk about sports.
Okay.
I think you did a good job talking about that part.
Thank you.
But I do agree with you. I do agree with you that anytime you are looking to establish yourself in any arena, whether it's professional, personal, whether it's sports or in corporate, you certainly have to develop yourself personally and what you are going to contribute to a team. Because it's just not being a part of a team just for being a part of it. Like, you have to bring something to the table.
Mm-hmm.
So it's definitely going to depend on, your personal growth and development at any stage.
Yeah. So in corporate America or on a job, in order to be a team player, do you think that you have to care about the company itself?
No, not necessarily. You could care about how the company grows, because that is going to benefit you in some way, right? So, but you don't have to necessarily engulf yourself in loving the company. You just want to make sure that you are contributing in a way that grows both personally and professionally.
Okay. But all right. So if you are a team player at work, your team is whoever you have around you your colleagues, your coworkers who help to get whatever job completed, but the profits from any of that work goes towards the company, right?
True, but it also in turn pays your salary.
Right.
So, and not just paying your salary, but it also develops you as a person, because your contribution and the recognition that you receive for your contribution is going to develop you, whether it's morally, whether it's professionally, whether it's, it's basically in all of those ways. So it's not just about, what you gain from the company financially, because you also gain knowledge, you gain experience, you gain income. So all of those things are enriched by your contribution to a corporation or a company.
Okay. All right. I'm just trying to figure out how, if you want to get paid more,
Mm-hmm.
and you expect for your team to do well, you want them to be compensated also. I'm trying to figure out how you can not have the company's interest at heart if you're going to work hard to make everybody else successful at a job. Because if the company doesn't make money through your efforts, then you can't get paid.
I agree, but isn't that what I said?
Yeah,
your question was, do you have to love the company?
No. I said care about them. I didn't say love them.
Well, care.
Love is big. That's a little different. Listen, and I have to clarify that, because I've actually heard people say, I really love this company, but I'm like, fuck is you talking? You know what I mean? I'm all hating, like, yo, you a little bit too much for me. What do you mean you love this? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Love? Yo, slow down. You know what I'm saying? But if you take a situation, okay, go ahead.
But I guess I'm speaking in terms of there's definitely going to be degrees in which you care about the company you work for, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can work for a company and be okay with the company, but not necessarily like their tactics, or not necessarily like what they represent in the community.
Mm-hmm.
But I like my job, right?
Okay.
So do I care about the company? Yeah, enough to do my job, but I don't necessarily like the company or what it represents. So that's what I mean.
All right. Do you think that?
So that's why I said. Go ahead.
No. You said that's why you said what?
So that's why I said not necessarily, like, you don't necessarily have to care about the company in order to do good or. No,
I see what you. Okay, I see what you mean, because you might like you said, you might like what you do, you might like your career path, there may be some things about the company that you don't care for, but maybe you care enough about what's going on with the company in order to do your job effectively. And maybe you like your team members. Maybe you feel like y'all do good work regardless of what the company represents. But let me ask you this. Do you think that you need, in that scenario, do you think that you need to care about your coworkers? Do you need to care about your team members?
I think you need to care about them enough to have a cohesive team, right? Mm-hmm. So, you're always going to have people on a team that don't contribute equally, right? So, and when you understand that, you contribute your part, and, there are going to be people on the team that pull their weight. but there are also going to be people who just are along for the ride, and
Mhm.
and then there are going to be people who are pulling the or rowing backwards, trying to pull us in a different direction. But once you understand, and sometimes you may have to pull more than your portion of the weight in order to get the boat where it needs to go. So, do you have to like everybody on the team? No. But you do have to know enough about the people on your team in order to make it work for you.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I guess there are different degrees of caring. You know what I mean? Caring for one thing, for one person, I should say, might mean actually caring personally for them and their success, where caring for another person might mean that it's more of a success oriented type of thing. Like, look, I just want to see you do good because that can make me do good. So putting
Right.
putting an I in that team, I think it's I would take the same angle as when we were talking about sports. When it comes time for you to negotiate your raises, bonuses, things like that, unless you work in a union job, you're going to negotiate your own price. You know what I mean? You're going to put that I in there. Like, listen, when I get evaluated, they evaluate my entire, they evaluate my performance over the entire year. So that's either going to make me or break me. That is not the time to put to be a team player. That's definitely a time to put an I in team, because some of these, your supervisor or your manager might try to give you less points than you think you deserve. Like, maybe you feel like you scored a 5-star or 5 points, 5 out of 5 points in a particular area, and your boss tells you, well, I only gave you a 4 because I think that there's room for improvement. And you like, no, I perform better than everybody else, so I think I should get a 5. I did everything that was required, and I even got an award. How you gonna give me 4 stars when it was a 5? You understand what I mean? So you're gonna probably put the I in team when it comes to that,
Right.
which I think is justified.
Yeah, you should.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, there are times when you need to put the I in team, but the arrogance of some people to always put the I in team discourages or offends some people who may never see themselves as putting the I in team. A funny thing about
me personally, I think. Go ahead.
No, finish that. Finish what you're saying.
I was going to say, me personally, when I think of people who, quote unquote, put the INT, to them there is no T. It's very self motivated. So, I think that whole phrase is a little, is a contradiction to what their personal beliefs are. So.
Yeah, you might be very right in that assessment. One thing I've noticed about people who may put the I in team consistently is that although they are more selfish players, they're always looking for a team to be selfish on. Have you ever seen anybody? Have you ever seen that an example of what I just said? They always looking for some team, and they always talking that team shit. But you see, once they put the team together, all they care about is themselves. They never put anybody else first.
Because I don't care how selfish people are, they do understand that they can't do it by themselves. Mm. Although they like to take all the glory for the success of, where they've been opposed to where they are. I really hate that the idea of people saying, like, I did this all by myself. I'm self-made. Like, there's no such thing in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like, someone has to help you. At some point, at some leg in your journey, someone helped you. Even if it was just advice, direction, money, whatever it was, someone helped you. Even if it was just making a phone call on your behalf, you didn't do it all by yourself. And I think it's like a slap in the face to the people who did pour into you to say that, I'm self-made.
Self-made.
Because even if you have a company, you don't run it by yourself. You don't work for yourself by yourself. Ever.
Right. Okay. So, all right. In the music industry, you have solo artists and you have group members. And sometimes some group members are more self-oriented, you know what I mean? And so they may use the group in order to spark their solo career.
Yeah.
Let's say like now I don't know how these people conducted themselves when they were in a team, but you look at like a Lionel Richie. Lionel Richie was with the Commodores, and he was great when he was at the Commodores, and the Commodores were a great band. Great.
Mm-hmm.
And they had really great songs, and Lionel Richie wrote a lot of their songs. So his contribution to that band was big. So when he broke off from the band, well, see, I don't know if he was more of an I in team type of player, but I do know this.
Right.
He did not seek to get to put himself in another team or another band after that. He was like, solo, I'm good. I mean, just going by the evidence.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with being a part of a team, and at some point recognizing that you can do what you do, love what you do, and do it by yourself, and use that platform in order to catapult yourself into where you want to be solo. There's nothing wrong with that. That happens in every industry, whether it's corporate America. A lot of people work a job and then realize, hey, I can do the same thing I do here by myself, without all the overhead, without all the direction, without all the, having to report or answer to someone. There's nothing wrong with that. I see the problem when you are not honest with yourself, or let's say you are a part of a team and you're in a group and you always put yourself in the forefront and dismiss the other members of your group, and you take all the credit.
Mm-hmm.
So you have all of these people working with you in the group, but they never get the acknowledgement that you get because your name is always the one in life.
Yeah.
So it would be in the music industry, like Beyonce being a part of Destiny's Child, but but nobody ever mentions the rest of the girls. It just says Beyonce all the time, even though the group's name is Destiny's Child. That sort of thing.
I think Beyonce definitely put the I in team. I don't think she gave a fuck about the team at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? I really don't think so.
I disagree with you only because,
I said
I think she cared about what's the dark one?
That's the only one. Kelly Rowland. That's it. And that's because that was her cousin. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not. And she ain't put Kelly first though. Like, hold on, Kel.
No.
You come after me. So her eye was still in her eye was definitely in team. Michelle who ain't really who's not a real member of the Destiny's Child. You know, you see what they did to the other two, Latavia and Latoya. Out, out, out. Like, we ain't do nothing, and we sing just as good as you. And we was here from the out, out, out. Matthew Knowles just coming to escort him. Like, listen, we're gonna give you girls, we're gonna give y'all $500 each, big money, and writing credit. Oh, we would give you writing credits, but y'all didn't write any songs. Oh, wow. Hey, but those videos that y'all were in. You'll get a check from those videos. You'll get a check. You'll get a check from those songs that you saw. You get something. You get something. But okay.
Royalties will keep rolling in.
Now, you take like a producer like Teddy Riley. Teddy Riley he was a music producer, so he was always looking for a group to develop. That was his thing. He wrote songs and produced songs for other people. He wrote and produced songs for plenty of people, and he was very, very prolific and very successful at that. But he was always looking for a group of his own. But if you look at the groups that he formed, I think it would be hard to argue that he didn't put the I in those teams, because one of the beefs of both of Guy and of Blackstreet was that Teddy Riley was making all the money. Nobody else.
He wanted a team that would play the background.
Yeah, but he couldn't sing. So how you gonna be out front singing? So I need you to be the lead singer and the background. Right. Aaron Hall was like, I'm gonna make this little solo record over there and see how that go. But we'll come back later on
the money.
Yeah, Blackstreet, same thing. Like, when you have the same issues with both teams, it's like, yeah, okay. But as a music producer, you're supposed to be a team player. And perhaps he was, but he just put the I in team. His thing was like, I'm getting all the publishing because I wrote all the songs and I did all the music. So although I couldn't sing, you can't write. So this ass cap.
Well, that reminds me of Puffy. I think that's him in that same vein.
Puffy? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm going to say this. Puffy put the I in team, but Puffy is actually a team player. And I'll say that he's a team player because he developed teams all the time. He had a team of artists. He had a team of producers. And he had a street team that promoted, and so he put teams together all the time. And Puffy is actually not a music producer. He gets music producing credits, but he's not a producer. He's not.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
He puts people together, but he keeps all the money, and he makes all the moves. He has the connections, so he feels like, most people don't understand contracts, so he words things in his contract in such a way that he profits off of everyone.
Getting all the money.
Time.
All the money.
And try to for the rest of their life.
Like, I know, right?
You can't go nowhere.
Yo. Well, he learned from the industry to do that. But he wasn't the only one. It was just that he's the one who kind of put it out there that that's what he was doing. Like, yeah, I'm gonna hit you off with this 8.
Have to employ those tactics.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. Yeah. He definitely put the I in team. But I wouldn't say that he wasn't a team player, but he put the I in team. You know, I mean, anytime.
Use people to his advantage.
Well, I mean, think about it.
A team player.
He's not a rapper, but he made rap records.
It's my point.
Yeah. But Biggie
He's not
saw
an R&B artist. He just owned them.
He's not an R&B artist, but he made R&B records.
Mm-hmm.
Last night, I couldn't even get an answer. It's one of my favorite songs ever. It was so dope. He didn't write it. He didn't produce it. He didn't do anything.
None of it.
Well, I bet you got all the money.
He just gets paid off of it.
Yeah. Well, he knew how to draw up contracts to where it was going to take away your ability to be an individual because you were under contract. So instead of going out there in the world and getting all of the compensation for your efforts, he got you under contract. Like, you ain't going nowhere and doing nothing with nobody. Guess why? Come on, guess why? Yeah. As 112 in the locks, how Puffy do.
Sign that contract.
Both of them went to other record companies and they still had to pay Puffy. Like, yeah.
Yes, and it's like he didn't even stop at owning them as a group. He owned them as an individual. Like, even if you try to go anywhere, it don't matter where you go, you're gonna have to pay me for just opening your mouth.
Okay.
You have to pay me.
Okay. Let's slide off of the music industry for a second, or the entertainment industry. Let's talk about politics. Politics. When you talk about politics, now the politicians are supposed to be working for the good of the public. They are public figures. So they have a team of people who work for them in politics, and they also are working for the people who are supposed to be an extension of that team. But are politicians always team players, or do they often put the I in team?
I don't see politicians in that light. I don't even know if that's in their job description.
What? Being a team player?
I've yet to see any of them be team players. I think what I understand about politics is you get in politics to make money. It's solely an individual sport. I mean, of course, you have alliances, and that's the only way you can make money. And I guess you can consider that the team part of it. But yeah,
I don't know. I might look at that a little different. If you think about the tops,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, 45, I believe, was definitely not a team player, not at all. It was always about him. But he also made sure that he had a team that would cover him when he went out to put the I in team. So being the president of the United States, you have to put together a cabinet. You have to have players around you that assist you. Advisors, cabinet members, appointed members. So your administration is built on a team atmosphere. No way around it. You're not even allowed to drive a car.
I guess the reason why I say it because I just feel like politics is mainly smoke and mirrors. Mm-hmm. So, it's sprinkle a little good here and there, and then the rest of it is all just smoke.
Okay.
So
I definitely agree with you because of the fact that politics is all about money. All about money. But no one politician gets all of the money. And when they do try to get all of the money, they get caught and it exposes them. Like like a Shaka Fatah. That's whether you believe that he's guilty or innocent. He definitely was taking too much personal money. When he put the I in team, that it all fell apart. But if you look at some of the other presidents, like you look at George W. Bush, I'm not so sure that he put the I in team. He may have actually put a little bit more. He might have been too much of a team player and took too much advice of his team rather than thinking for himself. Now that depends on how you look at it. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why I think that. Many people don't believe that George W. Bush was very intelligent. People call him stupid all the time. I don't think that you can be the president of the United States and be stupid in any way, but people questioned his intelligence. Now, one thing they couldn't question was the fact that he listened to his advisors a lot. So when you look at Dick Cheney, who was probably, and Donald Rumsfeld, who was probably very, very instrumental in getting us in the war with Iraq and Afghanistan, I don't think that was George Bush's idea. But I think that it was their idea and they saw the interest in it. And they also saw what happened when the senior George H.W. Bush, went into Iraq with Operation Desert Storm, went in there, basically took Iraq and left there without finishing the job, as they call it. You know what I mean? They let Saddam Hussein live, and they allowed Iraq to rise to prominence again. Well, George W. Bush may have had a vested interest in getting rid of Saddam, because he really felt like it was letting Saddam live that stopped his father from getting reelected. He honestly believed that. So, but nonetheless, I think the decision to go into Iraq and Afghanistan without any provocation probably was the result of him listening to his advisors and them convincing him of the benefits of doing that. You understand what I mean? Okay. So I think that he may have been too much of a team player, because I don't think that anyone believed that he alone devised that strategy. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think that they were smart enough. I don't think that people believe that he was smart enough to do it on his own. So
that's interesting, because that wasn't the perception I had of him. Like I felt like George W. Bush was a little more ruthless than his father in his tactics. And it's interesting because it wasn't until after he left the office and he did, I forgot who he did an interview with, that based off of that interview and a few other ones that he did after his presidency, I finally looked at him as even having a soul, because prior to that, I was just like, wow, he has none. He just doesn't care.
And I think that his team made him look that way. But if you followed him from when he was governor of Texas, you see that he definitely had a compassionate side. And his dad was way more ruthless than he was. Being the director of the CIA and all of that. Think about, you know what I'm saying? Like, what? And Prescott Bush, you know, they all came. The Bushes have a long line of political fury. You know what I mean? And
Absolutely.
yeah. So Prescott Bush was a beast. You know what I mean? Feeding the Germans war materials during World War II. While we fighting World War II. Like, how where they do that? You know what I mean? So George Bush being his son and then becoming director of the CIA and eventually becoming the president of the United States after becoming vice president of the United States, which a lot of the Reagan years probably have the blood of George H.W. Bush's blood on his hand on his hands, because you know, like you know, the general consensus is that Ronald Reagan was already suffering from Alzheimer's. You know what I mean? He wasn't in the best mental stability during that administration. So George Bush did all of that shit you see, you know, the Iran-Contra scandal and all. That's George W. Bush. You know what I mean? Leader of this, director of the CIA. Reagan couldn't do that shit. So it remains a mystery. Both of them are dead now, but leading up to George W. Bush, yeah, he seemed ruthless. But you see, just like you were saying, after he became president, you could tell that he kind of lamented over some of the decisions that he made. You know, but plus he was going to go down in history as the worst president ever, and I don't think that sat very well with him. So he was more than willing to let Donald Trump take over. Like, no, look at this motherfucker here. Woo! Y'all thought I was bad, yo. This motherfucker bugging. Yeah, but of course, Donald Trump was way more popular than George W. Bush could ever think about being. But George W. Bush got reelected, so that says something. Also, it says a lot. His dad didn't get reelected, but he was still in 3 administrations because he was vice president for 2 administrations and then president for 1 administration. So he did his time. But I don't know if George H.W. Bush was a team player. But he was very religious, which is odd. So there was a conscience in there somewhere. Like he didn't want to die with all them bodies on his hands. Like, yo, Lord. All right. Hey, yo, Jesus. Come on, man. We got woo. Woo. I mean, he was very religious. Like him and Mitt Romney had that in common. Definitely had that in common. But yeah, politicians are supposed to be team players. It may not always play out that way, but they're definitely supposed to be team players. And if the team only wins if the citizens are happy with whatever legislation or whatever services are granted to them that they approve of. And in that way, I guess even when they put the I in team, it works out. But you look at what Donald Trump said before he got elected. Remember, I alone can fix it. Only I alone can fix it. Like, you alone? Like, you don't need no help? President of the United States?
He didn't make no excuses about his personal belief.
Not at all.
None at all.
But people went for it and still are. It's weird. It's weird. But he absolutely put the I in team and I in everything else. It was we had 4 years.
But I also think that he understood that as much as he may have said, you know, only I alone to fix it, he knew he couldn't do it by himself. He relied on a lot of people to be extremely loyal to him and to do his bidding. So he understood that although he was the face of it all, and he liked the fact that his name represented all of that, but he definitely didn't want to get his hands dirty in any way.
Right. And that's what I mean. He kept the eye in his team, but he still made team members that were able to eat. I guess he was just so pathetic to them. They was like, man, I don't want that food. You know what I mean? Like this is crazy. You gonna stop me from you gonna have me eating 3 hots in a cot. You know what I mean? You know, messing around with you.
Because he lives by a logic that everybody has a price. And so as long as he knows that his name is attached to money, then he could buy people's loyalty. And no matter what it costs him, he's willing to pay it.
Do you think that Barack Obama was a team player?
I do, and much to his detriment in a lot of ways. Like he's one that I believe he allowed his team members or people around him sometimes to sway his decision making. Like at times where he could have done more, I don't think he may have pushed hard enough to do more. Because I think part of it is like he was trying to make everybody happy. You know, let me just spread a little bit over here, a little bit over there, you know, try to make everybody at least get a little bit of something. And, you know, he was loved by some for it and hated by others for it.
Yeah. I'll say he made a lot of enemies. Especially
in the Black community, you know, whereas, you know, coming into office, you know, his likableness in the Black community was undeniable, you know, but towards the end, because a lot of people felt that he failed to do much for Black people in the Black community, you know, that kind of turned south. So.
That's interesting. Because we always hear that he didn't do nothing for the Black community. Let me see if we can find anything that because I think it's unfair. I think it's unfair how without Donald Trump saying what he did for Black people researching it and finding all of this shit on their own. Let me see if there are any secret things that he did for Black people besides changing the Rockefeller laws that he may have done. Let's see.
I used to have a list.
No. You gotta stop talking. You messing up the Google. Hold on. You messed it up again. You gotta stop laughing. All right, hold on. Okay, here we go. What things did Barack Obama do for the Black community?
According to the FederalistPapers.org, President Obama had a wonderful opportunity to really make a difference in the Black community. He could have addressed the problems, worked with communities reaching out to troubled, young, Black Americans, and addressed inner city struggles.
They saying he could have.
Exactly. That wasn't good.
I know. Let's see. What has he really done for the Black community? Let me see. Barack Obama is the first African American president of the United States. Come on, what'd he do? All right. But what has President Obama really done for the Black community while he's been in office? Hold on, let me see what year this was. This was 2016. Okay. All right. Unemployment among Black Americans, particularly young Black Americans, is the highest of all races. The Bureau of Labor Statistics puts it at about 10%, but we all know that the BLS uses misleading figures to achieve the lowest unemployment rates possible. That's true. Okay. They ignore those who have dropped out of the workforce, and that number now stands at 93 million. And since the unemployment rate for Black Americans is about twice that of other ethnicities, how many of those 93 million are Black? Ow, 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 ow. Hold on. Okay. President Obama has been instrumental in stirring the cauldron of racial discord and division since he first took office. Just months after taking office in 2009, the president decreed the arrest of his friend, Professor Louis Gates, saying, "I don't really know what happened, but the police acted stupidly." He voiced his uninformed opinion on the on the Trayvon Martin shooting just a couple of years later. Then again, after the Michael Brown shooting, he can't seem to help himself. Huh? Okay. This is obviously written by, I don't know, this sounds like a Republican. So, okay, President Obama has demonized police officers nationwide, making their jobs even more dangerous than they already had. Okay, you see where we go with this? Okay, he has remained most silent about the Black Lives Matter movement and the racial violence that has occurred in places like Ferguson and Baltimore, thus making the streets more dangerous for all. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Okay.
So what I found was that according to statistics, that Black Americans benefited more from the Obamacare Act. Also, more students graduated from high school. He he raised the amount of money for Black colleges. I think it was something else. And of course, the whole prison reform thing. It was some other things I can't remember off the top of my head.
And this is who? Barack or this is who? Barack Obama?
Yeah.
Okay.
During his administration.
Look at this.
There was also some claims that the incarceration rate fell during his administration, so I think they had contributed to something that he did in while he was in office. I can't remember specifically what it was.
Look, he said, look, in this article, it says, but speaking about Barack Obama, he cares. Wait. Wait a minute. This shit that he said was so biased. He says, what has President Obama really done for the Black community? The answer is nothing, really. He doesn't care if Black and white hatred has risen. He cares that Americans insult the Prophet Muhammad. Yeah, this is a very biased. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, I see what we doing. Like, I think we gonna have to. I think we gonna have to find another article because this bull. Okay. Okay. Barack Obama's legislative victories for African Americans, and this is in 2012. All right. Okay, number one, awarded $1.2 billion to Black farmers. Okay. Number two, expanded funding for HBCUs. Didn't Trump get a lot of praise for that?
He did.
Okay.
And I think he only did it because of the fact that Obama did it. So he wanted to top what Obama did. You know, he had to.
Okay. Here's my favorite thing he did. Signed the crack cocaine bill, Fair Sentencing Act.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, crack cocaine, crack users disproportionately sentenced to longer jail terms than those who use powder. This unfair sentencing practice punished African Americans more severely than their white counterparts. With the signing of the Fair Sentencing Act through President Barack Obama, narrowed that disparity significantly. Okay.
Mhm.
Number 4, passed the Healthcare Reform Affordable Care Act. I'm not sure if that was for black people because white people definitely benefited from that. But I ain't mad at it. Number 5. Number 5, created the Civil Rights Division of Justice Department. That's interesting. Okay. Well, that was only 5 things. But there you have it.
Listen.
Well, people said he did nothing, though. They said he did nothing, though. Huh?
You can't pick 5 things from any other president.
Well, I'm saying people always said he did nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and this was in 2012. So you saying that he didn't do nothing in his second administration? Well, I question that. I question it.
They just didn't write about yet. Trump got those articles today.
Mm-hmm.
Check them off the internet.
This is an important article. I'm glad I'm glad you prompted me to read that. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I knew about the Rockefeller laws thing, but that, you know, the other stuff, I'm like, hey, you ain't gonna tell me he ain't do nothing. Because I hate to say it, but when black people say that you ain't do nothing or nothing, when we use the word nothing, it's normally something. There's something.
It's just not what we want.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wait a minute, nothing? Oh, no. There's something in the nothing. Okay. So
you know how they go. You ain't do nothing for me.
Nothing. Oh, that the only black kids say that.
No, black people say that.
I'm saying, you know, black children are quick to be like, you ain't never do nothing for me. Well, okay. Let me check the stats on this nothing. All by yourself. I raised myself. I've been on my own since 13. Well, where is you living? I'm just saying.
At my mama house, but I still took care of myself.
Mm-hmm. She didn't give me nothing.
She ain't do nothing for me.
You must have rented that. You must have rented your bedroom. That's a travesty. Right. That is a travesty. We gotta get on up out of here. We got to get on up out of here. But listen, I want to thank you for calling in. I really, 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 really do. And indirectly, you have enlightened me today. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I'm a team player. Okay?
Well, I'm glad that I am on the team. I'm glad that you, as in I, are on the team also. So I want you to have a great day, wonderful day. Everybody been kind of quiet today, but that's all right. That's all right. So you have a great day, and I'll holler at you later. Do your thing.
Absolutely. Good show. Good stuff.
Thank you. All right. Well, isn't that special? That was kind of great. I like it. You know, we don't normally have all of these shows with no jokes, no nothing. All right. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious 90 seconds. Glorious July 18th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get number 1 out the box, Yanika Crawford. Happy birthday to you. And also Tamara Morris, turning 54 years old today. And Zai Love, happy birthday to you. And Princess Faulkner, turning 47 years old today, and Lynn Gordon turning 53 years old today, and Mark Warren turning 60 years old today, and Sheila Mays turning 55 years old today. Deuce Nichols, and she's raising money for the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. Good stuff. Excuse me. And also Patricia Sankey, happy birthday to you. And Malia White turning 33 years old today. And my girl Michelle Williams. Michelle Maybell turning a big 5-0.
10
The
seconds.
big 5-0. She's a 71 type. And last but not least, my great cuz, turning 35 years old today. You only 35. What the? Jessica Crenshaw. I want to say happy birthday to you, Jess. I want to say happy birthday to all of you and anyone else out there who shares this birthday on this glorious July 18th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up, but don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. I rock out, rock on it, do the damn, to rock out, rock on it, do the damn, rock out, rock on it, do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, Mantronics. I want to say happy birthday to all y'all, and I want y'all all have a great day. Rock out, rock on, and do the damn, do the damn thing. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind, and anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, listen, putting the I in team, that may not be something that you elect to do. It might not be something that you even appreciate or think should be done by anybody, but there is a time, we all came into this world all alone. Now, soon as we were received when we came into this world, maybe we started building the team around us. And that team probably has changed over the years. The players you started out with, either joined other teams or died out, whatever, and you had to continually build another team. Whether it was family, whether it was friends, loved ones, supporters, however it goes. You're going to need somebody at some time, and there isn't really a whole lot of benefits to thinking that you can do it all by yourself. And trying to do everything by yourself is a tough road. Tough. Because when you don't have a team behind you, people try to take advantage of you. They know ain't nobody going to do nothing about it except for you. So having some support, having a support base behind you is something that's going to make you feel good and is going to be beneficial to you. So always try to build that team around you. Try to get on a team that is doing some great things with you. And if you have to put the I in team, make sure that it's the proper time to put the I in team. Speaking of I in team, speaking of team, I want to thank all my go-getters. I want to thank all my Urban Therapy with Sun crew for coming on through, man. I appreciate y'all coming through and rocking with me on this beautiful 18th of July on this Sunday. We will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for another Daily Go Getterism show. So y'all have a great Sunday. Be safe out there. Show love out there. And I will be with y'all because I care. So, all right, for my blog talkers, get you on the body here. I say peace.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.
And for my Instagrammers, Fi Slammer Jammer, thanks for coming through and letting me spit on my grammar. That's real. Okay. No. There we go. All right. And on the And for my YouTubers, you know how we do, but please make sure y'all hit the like button, share the show, and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, I will holler back. Yo, one love, baby. I say peace.